I've got the coolest story for y'all today. It's out of Nehemiah chapter 8, and it's kind of a do-over story for the children of Israel. They had been in captivity, and then they had been allowed to come back to Jerusalem, and they had been there for about 100 years, but they had not been following God. They had kind of taken up the practices of where they had been in captivity. Well, Nehemiah comes on the scene, and Ezra the priest, and Nehemiah is rebuilding the walls and kind of helping them get set back up. And one day they call them all together. It says in October, I think 8th. And so all of the men and the women, which was kind of unusual, and anyone who could understand, were all gathered together, and Ezra stands on a platform and reads from the Word of God. And they are just heartbroken because they realize they haven't been following God. And so they start crying and mourning. And Nehemiah says, don't cry. We're going to have a party. We're going to have a feast. We're going to share food. And we're going to talk about the good things that God has done. And that's kind of what we do at Thanksgiving. And so it's just a shot for a do-over. And it got me thinking. I was reading in some of the commentaries, and they reminded me of what happened in 2 Kings 22 when King Josiah read the law and people changed. Think about during the Reformation when Martin Luther found the scriptures and everything changed. Guys, last Sunday in Maine, they started reading Acts. 45 people were baptized. From generation to generation, this book changes people's lives. It calls us to a higher standard, and it shows us what we're doing wrong. Not from a point of beating us up, but so that our lives will go better and we have something to celebrate. In John 17:17 it says, make them holy by your truth. Teach them your word, which is truth. So, here's my challenge. Get into the word. If you're not, take some time over this break and read. It's so good. You can start in the book of John. Great place to start. I hope that you have a great Thanksgiving.